So Mr. Mena, Pedro Mena, 37 years of service, and we have a tradition that we started many years ago. We're going to retire his jersey. Nobody else will receive a jersey like his. So this is yours, Mr. Mena. Take that with you. And your colleagues purchased a hat for you for a matching color hat. 37 years of service. Joined this evening with his lovely wife of 19 years, Lois. Welcome. They have a 23-year-old son named Tyler, who graduates from Thaddeus Stevens this Saturday. And believe this, he couldn't be here tonight because of the work ethic established by Pop, no doubt. If you know Pedro, you know. Never miss work. He's received all kinds of rewards: a tutor, outstanding, electrician, following just in Dad's shoes, and that's why he can't be here tonight. So Dos Equis has a commercial. Why are they laughing? Dos Equis has a commercial. It's a popular commercial boasting a man as the most interesting man alive. However, after getting to know this man, I would argue they have misidentified the most interesting man alive. Digging up a lot of history on this amazing man, after moving 13 times in his first 6 years of life, from one army barracks, foster home, orphanage to another, Pedro's 7th grade year was his first established year of life. The Catholic Church, or the Catholic Rescue Missions, had rescued this man and 14,000 other kids in 1958. It's 1962 from Cuba. I did some research. At that time, all the kids aged 6 to 18 were all sent to Russia, labor camps, etc. At age 5, Pedro was shipped from Cuba to Florida, where they were housed for a couple months in army barracks, then to different orphanages, and throughout the United States. His parents could not escape from Cuba for 5 more years. They decided to escape through Spain to reunite with Pedro and his sister at age 9. You tell me who's the most interesting man alive. So 7th grade, he runs into the first year of his life that is stable, because he met Mr. Walker and Mr. Creakus. We could refer to them as modern day Mr. Mena, Mr. Miller, Mr. Tate, and any of the teachers that you have. These two people in metal and wood shop inspired this man at grade 7. They took to him and he took to them, and that is why he's here today. Also, a Mr. Shout and a Mr. Stout, both high school tech ed, metal shop, and track coaches, inspired him, and that's why he's here. We have, Mr. Raymond helped me. Mr. Raymond is one of our technology forerunners, and he put out a Google Doc to learn from students, ex-students, to get me some stories to talk about students. There are 23 pages front and back of student comments. Most of them make you cry, so I'm gonna give them to Pedro. Students in a public school forum. It's yours.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'll wait on that one. I'll commit another one. All right, so Riley Kilpatrick, current 8th grader, I talked to him, said, hey man, Mr. Mena's putting the final nail in. What do you have to say? He said, here's what Riley said. And Riley kind of represents one of our kids that just is very well balanced and a great mouthpiece. He writes, no matter what, I'm praying. Sorry to tell you now. Riley writes, no matter, here's what Mr. Manning taught me, no matter what your dreams are, you always need to know how to work hard and have respect towards your employer. Riley hit the nail on the head. I add this one because it's an idiom. I think it's, get it, nail on the head. It's funny when I wrote it. Pedro, as respect to the employer, Pedro has always treated me with the utmost respect and truly models respect toward employers and has an unparalleled work ethic. I'll tell you that he works his best for Myers Dark Rum. I mean, I heard that anyway. I heard him say that. That's just okay. So, anyway, aside from the many life lessons that Pedro instilled in our kids and that many people are keenly aware of, most people don't understand, and I think Dr. Mena mentioned it, his teaching practices are actually outstanding. Before you stands a master teacher, and there's different scientific things you can do to observe teachers, and all time on task, and our objectives clear as their measurements, formative assessment, and boarding. I can go on and on and on. Bottom line is this man is a master teacher and outstanding. He is more clear and more precise with his articulation. He's had no safety issues. I asked about safety issues. 20 years ago, a girl scraped her thumb on a spiral sander, like not even a nurse thing. There's saws down there, and like bands and things, and middle school kids who are nuts. And nobody had a finger loss. I expected something, and I got nothing. Aside from a 7th grader this year who ES kid, and just for no reason that anybody can identify, there's a vise on every table, and at the top of the vise there's a hole. I don't know why, but it's a manufacturing thing. And so he sticks his finger in the hole. His finger gets stuck beyond the knuckle and starts to swell up, and it's blue, and it's turning blue. And I walk, they call, the nurse calls, everybody's frantic, Mr. A, you gotta come to the shop. And I thought, shit, somebody cut their hand off. I run down there, and there's a kid screaming, a ES kid, and Pedro's got his eyes like this in the final year of his service. And I said, Pedro, what the hell happened? He goes, I don't know, ask him. I have no idea why he did that. I said, why did, I have no idea. So I called the kid's dad and put him on speakerphone and said, your son's got his hand stuck in the vise, and we're all here, and you're on speakerphone. Pedro comes back with WD-40. And he said, I think we could get it out. So we put some WD-40 on it. And I said, it's now Pedro's lunchtime, and it's not coming out. And the kid's screaming. I thought, you know what? You earned the right. Go enjoy your lunch. I'll deal with this, whatever's going on. So, long story short, those are the only two things, and it's his clarity, it's his precise directions. He knows exactly what he's doing. The kid is still there. He screams and yells and a couple profanities, and I said, look, man, you got to get your hand out of the vise. There's no other way. The longer you wait, the bigger it's going to get, so let's just yank on that bad boy. And we yanked on it and turned it, and he screamed, and everything's fine. And he walked around like this for the rest of the day. The nurse told him it's going to stay swollen, so he walked around like this. It was this finger, by the way. My point is that this is an incredibly articulate man, and in terms of life lessons, the kids will tell you, so will his teachers, that it was a life lesson thing. And in a time, I think I can say it now, there's nothing to laugh, but in a time where you're not supposed to teach morals, a young man by the name of Austin Berry, who was I'll come back to that. All right, remind me to get back to that. All right, so I talked to a couple of the teachers, and two of his very close friends. They couldn't share a lot of stories because they happened at Pinchot Park on the day after kids left out, and they would go and camp, and Mike Ritz and Dave Raymond are deleterious influences on Pedro, and they would bring out Frank the Tank and Pedro, and it was a lot of great fun, great memories. But here's what Mr. Raymond says, and he's very close to him, is that not only is the man an icon, he's an example of a man who persevered through hardships that I can't even imagine. Yet I've never heard him complain about anything. That's true. He has never said a false word. He's someone who has dedicated a large majority of his life sharing his skill and love of woodworking with generations of students. He has passionately impressed on countless students the importance of hard work, dedication, and determination. He has always deflects praise away from him and shines it on other people. Whether he knows it or not, he has become an icon and positive role model for thousands of students as identified by the 23 pages of student responses that I got within 24 hours of his classes. He's already offered the skilled services, cooking recipes to colleagues when needed, and he does it unselfishly, always for other people. Last but not least, and anyone who's ever been to a middle school buffet can attest to this, he will make the most incredible cheesecake on planet Earth. He was a pastry chef, I believe, at the Accomac. One of the many stops. So this man can make a cheesecake that'll make you see Jesus. Pedro, what will you miss the most? Without any hesitation, it's just the kids, the great classes that I've had. And I said, well, what about in particular? It's the light bulb. It's the moment where a kid actually gets it and learns. Is what he talks about. He's always felt like he was privileged to learn from other people. And he was surprised to learn that he was the first minority teacher in the county of York to get a teaching job, first ever. Yeah, he said, I didn't know I was a minority. Still didn't know it. And you are not. So definitely a misrepresented word. I know I said, what are you going to do? You know, when did you make the decision to retire? I said, I had to retire last summer. The winter of 2014-15 was tough for my love. And Lois suffers from fibromyalgia, and Pedro has an awful lot of responsibilities, and he felt like he was burning the candle both ends. She requires great care, and this school commitment hasn't changed. It's gotten more, and anybody that's teaching knows that. He spoke to an advisor, a financial advisor, and the advisor said, hey man, look at these numbers. You really like teaching that much? And Pedro said, well, yeah. And the advisor said, you can go right now if you want to. And he said, no, I didn't do things right. So he came into my office and said, I got a year. Challenging kids, you know, the difficult kid, just like what Lloyd said, was Pedro's passion. And I always said the same thing. Anybody can teach the high ability, low maintenance kids. You can put on the board what they need to do. But what separates good teachers from great teachers are to flip that switch. And this man has done that. He's looking forward to going down and in his basement, working in the shop, building museum pieces. I don't even know what these are, but bone clams, Philadelphia-style furniture, and traveling on a motorcycle. Whether you know this or not, a lot of the kids wrote this. This man actually hit 2 deer on a Harley Davidson, and it somehow minimally scraped up. That Harley Davidson only goes in the daytime now. I think Pedro has said, I get it. I won't test fate anymore. But hitting 2 deer at the right time has changed his course of riding. I will tell you, congratulations, my friend. Your legacy is strong. I hope you have the chance to read through those 23 pages of double-sided emails and different sentences from students. You've earned it. We will all miss you. You're the godfather.